Let's speak now to mortgage advisor Sally Mitchell. Morning to you, Sally. When you hear those numbers, it was Jonah and Ellie there, wasn't it? They're looking at a jump from £6,700 to £18,000 if they miss the deadline. These are significant amounts of money.
It certainly is, and that's not unusual. I see it quite a lot. It just seems to be one thing after another, doesn't it? The rates have gone up. People who are coming off low-rate mortgages are going on to higher ones. We then get stamp duty going up. It's an awful lot to take on board, especially for first-time buyers who are struggling to get the deposit together in the first place because they have no equity.
And what you do is you advise people on what mortgages to get. Have you seen a rush of people trying to get in ahead of these changes?
Weirdly, not really. I think everybody's feeling a little bit jaded by the ups and downs of the mortgage market, all the rates changing and then being promised that we're going to get reductions and then not following through, no matter what happens to the base rate. And I think also people realise that it takes probably 6 months from offer being accepted to completing on your property. So when this was announced in October, if people were halfway through the process, they have a good chance. I think someone on your VT was saying that they think they're going to just get in time because they exchanged in August. But for anyone starting the process in October, I think they were probably advised by someone like me that the chances are it's not going to go through in time, even with 5 months to go.
Yeah, and I suppose what you presumably when you're advising people now, you're having to make sure they are familiar, aware of the extra costs that will be involved.
Yeah, it's a chat we have very, very early doors, because the knock-on of that extra money, you've got to find it. It's probably going to come off your deposit. But there is a knock-on that if you're having to borrow more because your deposit is decreased, you often get put into a higher bracket of loan to value, which means your interest rate on your mortgage is higher, so your monthly cost is more. And that can be affected by, affordability. Can you actually afford that? So we're seeing some chains breaking apart, which can affect many people along the way. And also, if you're looking at moving, and we need to keep this cycle of property going, if you're looking at moving, you have to factor in your stamp duty. And I'm seeing a lot of people with more expensive houses deciding not to move because they don't want to pay the extra money. It can be, tens of thousands of pounds. That stops the cycle and doesn't free up stock. So there's a blockage at the top, and that's not good for the market either. So it has a lot of effects, a lot of ramifications.
I feel obliged to say, Sally, after all that's a rather miserable outlook, it's not your fault, that moving house and buying house, what an amazing thing that is, if you can do it. It's a great moment in time for lots of people. But thank you.
You just need some help to guide you.
Absolutely. Sally Mitchell is a mortgage advisor speaking to us this morning about those changes with stamp duty.